Welcome, everyone, to Casual Friday. I hope you're having a marvelous day. We've got a really fun live stream for you today. We've got some special stuff that we've kind of alluded to a little bit in the email that I sent out, and we're going to have some fun. One of the things that we all have challenges is we're busy. We're smoking busy, and what happens is there's a lot of things we would like to do, but we're running from pillar to post, and we just don't seem to get time to do the things that we'd like to do. There's only so much time in the day, and we've got certain demands. Sometimes we're wearing multiple hats, and it's just we're stretched, and we can't get things done. And so we've come up with something on an area that I know that a bunch of people have asked me about, and we're actually doing some right now for a few of our clients. And we've only been able to do a few because because bandwidth on our side, but that's now changed. And so I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Mike Little. Now, Mike, good to have you on today on our live
Hi,
stream.
Gary. Thank you for having me.
And I am super excited about this because, like you, I've got a background in sales and marketing and communication. You've got more in communication. Mine's more sales and marketing. Yours is sales, marketing, and communication. But let me tell you a little bit about Mike first, and then we're going to go in and kind of explain this new thing that we're going to be offering. So Mike has been, a professional communicator for I don't know how many years, Mike? Forever?
I really don't want to own that. That's how long, but it's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. And Mike has worked with top companies like GM Canada, Nissan Canada, working on a lot of their assets that they do, training that they've done with. He works right across Canada. He traveled like I think he was hardly home for most of his career because he was on a plane going someplace to train somebody. And he's done produced regional programs, events, did videos, live streams, content creation. So he's got this background that is just amazing, and we're glad to have him with us to take us to the next level as far as helping our clients get to where they need to be in marketing, right? And sometimes, Mike, we don't want to use the word marketing. It's kind of like the word sales, right? It's like,
Yeah,
ooh, and people go, oh, well, I'm not sales, I'm an account manager, and so we don't like using the word
exactly.
marketing, and it seems daunting for the person. So, what do you think about that?
Well, we're going to put the word marketing up here. We're going to talk about it, but let's face it. What marketing is the process of really communicating with our customer. Whether it's an existing customer or a potential customer, we want a way of communicating with them so that they not only recognize us for what we do, but also they have this desire to do business with us, to come back over and over again and participate in what we offer into the marketplace. That's what we want. And
Right.
so the word marketing, yeah, it's more of a proper communication in the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and back in the day, we've read books like Raving Fans by Ken Blanchard, and how do we keep the clients we have, and how do we get new ones? This whole retention and acquisition strategies, um, and most of us, we're running busy, and what gets dropped first, what I've found over consulting for, well, I won't talk about as many years as I've been doing it either, is that people slip through the cracks because we're just so busy and we don't get to them. And we all have that to a certain degree. It's being cognizant and having a system in place, and that's what I'm finding that most people don't have because they're so busy.
Yep. And that's really true. And in fact, probably one of the biggest issues with marketing is that whole idea that marketing is this massive process, that there's so much that goes into it, that we have to apply so much of our own capital and our own time in order to make the marketing that we want to do work. And
Right.
that's just not exactly the case. There's lots of help out there for us if we know where to reach for it.
Right, right. And that's where we come to this. We've got something new. We're able now to provide some help in that area because, with the way the economic situation is now, keeping our existing clients is crucial. If you don't have a plan for keeping your existing clients, I'll promise you that they're going to fall away somehow, some way if you're not keeping up. And so you've got to put a bit of a plan together. So, Mike, we're going to switch into the other screen here so that you uh, can go into this.
Well, thanks. As a matter of fact, here's that big nasty word, marketing. But what marketing is, and we're just going to use a bit of a kitchen analogy here, and well, my favorite pie. I can't help it. I like pie, and as you can tell, I like pie. All right, here we go. The reality is that, and for many of you that do a lot of marketing, this is going to seem very rudimentary. But for others who may do less, this may be very helpful. Marketing really starts with a plan. And that plan will usually involve assets, things that we can use to be able to accomplish that plan. And from a marketing perspective, those slices of the pie, that beautiful pecan pie that you see there, are many. There are many different ways of approaching it. And of course, what you see on the screen is nowhere close to the full extent of what's there. This might be a little oversimplified. But the reality is that when we talk about a plan is sometimes very casual, sometimes formal. But that plan is usually set up around the assets that we have available to us. For example, perhaps you have a database, and if you're an ACT CRM person, you've got a database sitting there of clients and people that you would like to do business with. Maybe you have someone in your office that's pretty decent copywriter, and so they type up all of the emails that you send out, or maybe even a newsletter. Or maybe you have someone that's pretty handy on the computer and they can pull together some clip art and throw together some graphics for you, and away you go. And your plan will literally be made up of what assets you have available to you right now. Now, for others, the idea is the plan. What's the plan supposed to be like? What should I be doing as far as the plan is concerned? Well, that's a big question, and we'll get to that in just a few moments. For other people, it boils down to this. Maybe all they need is a way of being more easily recognized by their customers as for what they do, or a simple communication plan. And if that's all they require, that's all that their plan has to encompass. So the reality is that the plan is either a big plan, which is all of the parts and pieces coming together. There's expense that is being laid out for all of this, or it's just a little plan. And the reality is that that depends entirely on your business. It depends entirely on your customer base, the demographic and the geographic aspects of your customer base. So you need to have what you need, no more, no less. And sometimes it's hard to be able to balance all of that. So let's just get rid of the pie analogy for a minute, okay? And let's talk for a little bit about first steps. This is what's new with CoreLogix. We're going to be offering done for you marketing. And that done for you marketing, of course, will be as big or as small as is necessary for your needs. The first steps are very simple. We're going to be taking a look and at an assessment of where you are and where you would like to be, and figuring all of that out along with the budget allows you to be able to see where the gaps are in your program right now and what you could be doing. Secondly, we're going to be developing a current market plan. In other words, you've got goals right now. Those are the things that we're going to focus on, is what's important for you today and accomplishing that. Then I'm going to build the assets that are necessary, whatever that happens to be. Maybe you need a video on your website. Maybe you need an email campaign to promote a new product that you have. Whatever it is, the assets and access to building those assets is what this Done For You marketing program is all about, is being able to be as big or as small as you need it to be. The next step is, of course, to deploy. It's to put this information out in front of your customers. It's to help them see who you are, what you offer, and invite them to do business with you. That deployment, while important, is not that hard. It's pretty straightforward, and we can help with that. Finally, no plan is worth anything unless there's some form of evaluation that goes along with it. And of course, where you have access to, say, ACT marketing automation or something along those lines, there's an ease to being able to find that data on what you just did with your marketing plan and see whether it's been successful or not. What you want is you want success on your terms. You want to see what successful to you actually means. But as with everything else, the evaluation also allows you to adjust, to make the corrections that you need along the way and be able to use what works best for your customers. And that's what we can help you with. Ultimately, it boils down to two key questions, okay? And those key questions are, where are you in your marketing and communications plan as of right now? When was the last time you even looked at your marketing plan? If you can see where you are, that helps a lot at making a decision about where you would like to be, right? And the second big question I want you to consider is this one. Which piece of the pie would strengthen your marketing and communication efforts today? There's probably something that you feel that you lack, or an access to an asset that you feel you lack. One of the things with this question, if you are following along here and you've got something that just popped into your head, something that you need, something that you think would be good, just jot that down in the comments section. Let us take a look at that. We'll kind of get a bit of a poll, if you will, of what might be missing from your marketing strategy and your communication strategy today. Those elements are what this is all about, is being able to provide the strength and the support as we continue to do our jobs running our businesses. Okay.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you know, really, when you think about, and we've been there. We've Mike and I both know what it's like to sitting there going, I need to do this, but I've got 100 other things that I've got to take care of, and really, you know, there's fear too, like daunting. I know the first step is, you know, I've talked about, you know, marketing plans before, and I know that people are like deer in the headlights. They're just like, oh, not another thing to do. And that can be difficult to just wrap your head around. I mean, we just did a webinar or a workshop on ACT marketing automation. And I know people were probably in the bathroom getting sick just because they saw how much it could do. And it's like, okay, how can I implement all of these things? And it's being able to pull all that stuff together for you. And like Mike said, having a return on investment, that last part where you evaluate, it's like, how if we're making more money by spending some of our marketing dollars or resources towards that, then we're going to be ahead of the game. And so that's what we're here for, is to kind of help with that.
Yeah, one of the great strengths is, I mean, there's not every business out there that has the ability to just do a meaningful video, properly branded and presented, that puts what you want to communicate out to your customers. Sure, I mean, it should be casual. It should feel a little bit like it's you talking to your customer. However, it's nice to know that you can access help at making sure that it's all properly branded, professionally cut together, and make it work as it should be. Same thing with a simple thing like an email campaign. What works? What's going to get that email opened? What's going to get the response that you're looking for from your customers? And that's the strength of Done For You marketing, is that we can help make that stuff come together so that your success is much more likely through that process.
Absolutely. Well, and Mike and I've, we spend a lot of time, looking at, especially, marketing campaigns that go out. It's like, what does the subject line like? Is it enough for the person to want to click on it? And then what's the content? Is there a call to action? Like all of these different things. And a call to action could be just, keeping connected. Could be, like we did with in the beginning, subscribe to my channel. Maybe that's all it is. But unless you take the time to sit down and kind of figure that out, you're kind of you're just going to be where you're at last year or the year before, and you'll be in the same place. And so the way things are now, I think, with this done for you marketing, to whatever degree, like Mike said, whatever degree you want to engage, we can engage and help you and come up with a and I think the plan is the first thing, right, Mike?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Coming to understand your business, what you want out of it, is more important than anything else that we do. And with that understanding, it's easy to put together a simple, direct plan that can be implemented quickly.
Right. And so, what we're going to do is we're going to be offering, a high level assessment for anybody who wants to do it. It'll be free. And it's, again, high level. So we may have to, as we get into somebody that maybe wants a little more complicated. And, I've gotten a good handle of a lot of our clients, of where they're at with their marketing. Some are wanting to do stuff, they're chomping at the bit, but they don't have the time. And then we've got some people like my friend Sean. His office is doing fantastic. Natalie is like a keener. They've got an asset there that can do all of this stuff, and so they are in good position. They may need a little help here and there, but for the most part, they're self-sufficient and just going great. But there were some steps for them to get there, and we were there to help them out. But the nice thing is, it doesn't matter where you're at. Let's start somewhere, and free assessment's a good place to start to find out where you're at. Get your temperature. Anything before I wrap up, Mike? Anything that you want to contribute before we move on?
No, this is actually a very exciting part of my career, is being able to offer this. As Gary said, I'm one of those strange people that has almost 2 million miles of flights inside Canada. And I can tell you that not going and getting on an airplane is quite a pleasure for me. So I'm happy to be sitting right here and bringing some of what I know and love to do to CoreLogix as well. So.
Yeah, and some of the things that Mike has done has just been amazing. Just blowing me away. Some of the live events that he's done for these different automobile dealer manufacturers, and and some of the things we're gonna be showing, some of the stuff we're gonna be offering. Like, you see what we're doing here. Yeah. We can do this for you. What we're doing right now, we can actually act as a producer and produce live streams for you, where you don't have to know anything, and you can get out to your clients. This is just one thing that possibly could fit into your agenda. All right, Mike. Yep. Thanks. Anything else before I shift gears here?
No. Thanks for having me on with you today, Gary.
Awesome.
Look forward to doing this.
Yeah, me as well. Thanks, Mike. All right. So just as a wrap up, everyone, if you want to reach out to Mike, here's Mike's contact info, Mike at CoreLogics.ca. You can just email him and just say, "Hey, Mike, I'd like to set up a time to have a quick conversation with you," and then he can start the ball rolling, at least finding out where you're at. Where would you like to go on an interim? And the nice thing is you can do a step approach to this. You can say, I'm here. Here's the goal. I want to get way down here, but let's take some incremental steps to get there. It doesn't matter what it is. Let's help you get to where you need to be in connecting with your clients and your potential clients and helping you bridge that gap. So grateful to have you on, everyone. Grateful that you were able to show up today. For those of you who are catching the recording, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Again, if you can't get a hold of me, get a hold of Mike with regards to this, and we can definitely help you out. Hope you have an awesome weekend. All the best, and we'll talk to you on the next one.